everybody, my name is Valerie Valencia Turan, and today I will be introducing my informative speech. For my live audience on the Zoom, I have Cindy and Julie, and then in person, I have my family, and then they're going to help me set my camera up, please. Thank you. Now, to start, I would like to introduce my visual aid, and that is going to be bread. It will be very relevant in this case. And now, to start my speech, have you ever thought what is in the daily foods that we eat in our kitchen, such as bread? Bread is a staple in every single household. You can use it for so many things: French toast, peanut butter sandwiches, and many others. Now, in society, bread has been used for thousands of years, first as a nutritional and great use of vitamins, and then later it was used more for pastries and desserts. And then I would like to reveal my topic today, which will be how the use of artificial food additives affects our human bodies and what the effects are. So to start, my first main point will be why artificial food additives became used in the first place. They have been used since the 17th century, earliestly dated back to China. Now, a most relevant use of artificial food additives was when Napoleon III implemented a artificial food additive to make butter cheaper. A quote here says, "The invention of artificial substitute foods is a relatively recent enterprise. Margarine was the first developed in 1869 as a solution to Napoleon III's desire to find a cheaper alternative to butter, which is in scarce supply for the working class." Now, the artificial food additives not only make it easier for people to afford certain food items, such as, like in this case, butter or bread, but they also increase shelf life and cosmetic imperfections. Next, I would like to talk about not only why it's used to be I would like to talk about the practical uses of the use of artificial food additives. It was first used in China, like I said, to increase longevity of food. For example, salt was put on fish to help improve the shelf life of it. And then later on, as we became more advanced with our technology, it became used as a cosmetic addition. And for example, color additives are important components of many products, making them attractive, appealing, appetizing, and informative. And another one to highlight how useful it is for production and improvement of shelf life is food additives are substances primarily added to processed foods or other foods produced on an industrial scale for technical purposes to improve safety, increase the amount of time a food can be stored, or modify sensory properties of food. And this is from the World Health Organization. Now that I have mentioned why artificial food additives were used in the first place, I would now like to talk about its effects that it can have on the human body. First, the implementation of artificial food dyes have been known to link to mood changes, specifically in children, and a link has been shown through, and specifically, food color dyes such as red, brown, yellow. An example, a quote is, "The American Academy of Pediatrics warns about these harms and points out that they are often worse for children. Children are smaller, so their dose of any given chemical ends up being higher." And later, it was also found that these can lead to chemical imbalances in the brain, potentially harming the human body and leading a greater risk than the advantage that they give. Quote is, "Researchers have linked food dyes to 3 genes. One of those genes produces dopamine, the feel-good chemical that promotes focus and control over your impulses. These 2 other genes produce histamine, a chemical made in your body that causes you to feel alert, but too much histamine can bring on allergy symptoms." So again, the implementation of artificial food additives, although it has many advantages, it is also dangerous for the human body, and it can cause several side effects, like given by cited Arnold 2024. And also, it is most commonly dangerous for children since, like I said in the previous quote, everything that children receive comes in a higher dose for them, and it is more impactful on their body since their body is smaller. The quote states, an increasing number of studies suggest some food additives can interfere with the child's hormone and development. And this is from the American Academy of Pediatrics that says some common food additives may pose health risks for children. And so, again, to list some of the chemicals that directly affect these three genes are bisphenols, phthalates, and PFCs. And now that you know, the audience knows that why artificial food additives came into production and creation and how it can affect the human body, I hope that you will be able to take this knowledge with you home and implement it into your daily picking and choosing of what you eat. Maybe start eating healthier, making your own sourdough bread like my mom loves to. Every single week she comes up with a new loaf, and it's a very healthy alternative to the bread that we eat every single day from the store. And next time you reach for that bread on the shelf, maybe take a look at the ingredients.